Hey, what's up, guys? So I finally am getting around to doing a well, whatever it's called, setup video for Dxtory. Um, so yeah, we can just go ahead and jump right in. I have no clue what this screen does, so we'll just go ahead and move on to this. So basically, it'll be like, oh yeah, you can move it, I guess. I just keep it top left corner like fraps. I don't know if you can see that up there. I just use default setting, video, the write file FPS. That tells you how fast it's writing your file to your computer. So before you render it out, it will be extremely laggy, which is why you have to render things out. The record status, which tells you that's the non-recording, that's the recording color. Movie frame capture, I don't really care about that. So this is the folder that I have it going to. So it goes to school and then to YouTube. And let me go ahead and pull. This is Dwarf Fortress, which I just downloaded. So it goes to school and it goes to my YouTube. It has all my YouTube files. I have no clue what that is. And then this is bam. And then I have all my subfolders, which I divide things into. And then from there, you can just put out whatever folder you want. So you would have to go to add folder, and then choose the folder with the little click. And then this is your hotkeys. So I just have this as insert because on some games, depending on the game, F11 makes it full screen, aka Minecraft. So I don't like to use F11, which is why I don't use fraps anymore, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, you can do your little hotkeys. They're just screenshots, so I don't use them. So this is the important part. Well, at least one of the important parts. You can download different codecs, and there you can see there's the fraps decompressor, but I just use the normal Dxtory one. And then this is basically what you're playing is the quality that you get. That's pretty, that's great quality, and that's pretty good. And then this is but I find that I've recorded in both. This, let me tell you, it lags my computer to no end. I played Minecraft on it, and I just recorded it and moved forward, and it lagged really bad. I haven't tested out these two because I don't care. And the setup video that I watched to get my setup, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the phone ringing. It just said use low quality, and I couldn't tell a difference between these, unless I got like super close. And what's the point of having your game lag, So, and then you always want to compress it because it'll just be the raw file and be huge. So you click OK there. These three don't really matter. I haven't fooled around with them. I don't want to fool around with them because I feel like it'll mess up my video. So you want to choose 60 frames per second. You can do whatever you want, really. You can enter in any number. You want to do file output and then AVI. Excuse me. The direct show is if you're going to stream, so you don't want to do that in raw cap. You have to convert it back to an AVI to render it out in Sony Vegas anyway. So I don't use it. You can include your mouse cursor, which doesn't matter for this because I use the Xbox controller, and for this it only matters if you're going into gear, but it shows that anyway. So I don't mess around with that. You can blah 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 edit that. Just shows you program files. And then scaling, I just do it at 720 because in my opinion 1080 isn't worth it. I've recorded 1080 and 720, and the size, it's about 10 or 20% more depending on what game you're playing. Now, some games like DayZ doesn't really take up a lot of memory. I can record 2 hours and it be 60 gigabytes, which is pretty good. This takes about 1 minute is 1 gigabyte. That's still pretty good. Faster Than Light, which is an indie game that I recorded, and I didn't really like the footage, so I deleted it. It was 200 gigabytes for about an hour and 30 minutes. So it really depends on the game. That'll tell you, you know. So I would recommend. I have just 1.5 terabyte hard drive, but you have all the security stuff and whatever. I had another one that was 250, and I had all my program files on it, but you can see I've used up almost this entire thing. And it isn't with YouTube videos, it's just with all these all the stuff that I've downloaded. So next thing is, this is probably more important than this. If you don't set, see, I have my speakers, oh, I need to change that, speakers and microphone. So I just keep it on PCM, that's what it comes as default, and then I have them each at 4800 Hertz. I can't tell the difference between the rest of these settings unless you go down to here. 16 bits pretty good. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference in file size really, and you can add audio streams, blah blah blah. So if you want to have a separate one, you can't do it for certain programs. So I was gonna say, if you had like having like a dual com and you have it over Skype. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy today. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're recording your audio. And then that's for screenshots, which I don't use, so it doesn't matter to me. This is kind of important. If I was you, I would not do that, because when basically when the game loads, it'll have, depending on the game, it'll have like a little black screen, and they'll actually start loading up the game. So like it'll have like the thing that covers your entire screen black, and then it'll start showing the number up top if you have whatever file, like whatever video recorder. So it will start from there, which, you know, who wants to see a game load up? So I wouldn't recommend doing that. I have no clue what that is. No clue what that is. Permanent, I really don't know. So if you're playing a very GPU intensive game where you don't have very good GPU, but you have a, like an i7 or like dual i7s or whatever, crazy, something like that, then you can do that, and it'll only use your CPU to render out things. I would recommend not checking that, because I get good frames per second anyway, and I want to upgrade my computer to get like a GTX like 680 or so. So it doesn't really affect me. Don't really know what these are. Yeah, that, it says maybe down. Yeah, so I have a feel. I'm just eyeballing this one by the description. If you're recording and you get to a point where your FPS, or like your file capture FPS, goes down to 0 because you hit a lag spike in the game, it will just wait and it won't record anything else, which I wouldn't recommend doing, because it will stop recording and then start again. This is the amount of cores in your CPU that's used. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then you can limit your video FPS, which I don't see why you'd want to. And And then this, you can check for updates, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Doesn't really matter. And then this is just your license. So that's it for my Dxtory setup video. I will be recording a Sony Vegas setup video. I'm just gonna stop and then start a new video, and I'll upload them separately. So if you'd like, give this video a like, because it does help out my channel, because it gets me up further on the, like, if you search something like, oh, sea turtles, it will get me further up on that list. And also favoriting does that, and subscribe, that helps. So I'll see you guys in about 30 seconds when I go record my next video for this. So see you guys then.